Scotty Brooks, longtime coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's basically started with the franchise. PJ Carlissimo was their first coach when Sonic happened. They moved the team from Seattle, but he was fired a few weeks in the season. Scotty Brooks has basically been Russell Westbrook's only coach, and Kevin Durant's pretty much father figure there the entire time he's been with the franchise. What did you think of this when this came down last week and being fired?
Well, clearly what happened this year was not Scotty Brooks' fault. I mean, those injuries they went through, you can't control that. I mean, Westbrook went down early in the year, then Kevin Durant, Ibaka's out. Right? I mean, you can't control these things. I don't think it was his fault. I do think he should have been fired 3 years ago. He's the type of coach that builds a program. He's good at developing those young players, and he did that, right? He did what he had to do in OKC, but they should have switched board a lot sooner. A little bit like Golden State with Mark Jackson, right? He put Steph Curry and Klay Thompson up there, and look what Steve Kerr is doing with the team now. And I think they needed that a while back.
Phil, you were championing him as a potential Coach of the Year candidate. What were your thoughts on the firing?
Well, until this year, I thought this was a long time coming. I never liked how much he played Perkins, just straight up. And in my mind, if you have two of the best players in the game and you don't win rings, you're doing something wrong. It's just that simple. I think
you used to have three of the best players in the game.
Three of the best players with the beard, which is a sad story to this day. I mean, and who would know, right, if they had kept him with Ibaka? I mean, they're paying the luxury tax, but they're doing that now to maintain Durant, especially if they want to re-up Cantor. So, a little too late. But I think it was time for a new show, especially if. But it has to be a veteran coach. It can't be one of these, first-year David Blatt kind of scenes, because I think they have to manage this Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook's thing really well. I'm a little upset that George Karl's not available for this. I think this would have worked out.
Yeah, who do you have? I mean, obviously there's only like 2 or 3 spots.
That's it, but they're talking about Billy Donovan, and Kevin Ollie actually said he didn't want the job.
Want the spot, yeah.
Nick McMillan?
Yeah.
That's a guy I would see working
Sonic's
well
guy.
with. Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Sonic's guy, and I could see working well with Russell. And I mean, they have 1 year. They have 1 year to win it, because Durant might be out the way. They have to figure it out, and I agree with Phil. Like, I mean, he can't be a rookie coach.
Yeah, Phil. One name has been thrown out there a lot, and it's a name I like. Hasn't got enough respect in the league. He's a veteran coach who has a lot of experience. Alvin Gentry, currently assistant with Golden State. What do you think about him fitting in OKC?
I think it's a nice fit, but I think it has to be a bit of a. I don't know. Is he going to clash with the young guys, right? Because a big part of this is appeasing Kevin Durant and making him seem like the man and wanting it to be his team. Because he's really worried about that, I feel, with Russell Westbrook's kind of explosion onto the scene. So to me, it would have to be more of a player-centric coach, maybe a little bit more of an offensive guy. While I think Gentry would be a great fit, I think the politics might hurt a little bit more than you give it credit for.
Seeing what he did in Phoenix, he was able to balance guys like Steve Nash, Grant Hill, Shaq, and young guys like Goran Dragic. I think he have a really unique situation for him to thrive there. And seeing what he's been doing with Golden State kind of quietly on the sideline besides Steve Kerr, I think would be a good spot for him.